everyone, and welcome to the Political Job Interview, where I interview candidates running for election. I'm Vincenzo Calla, the host, and today I take on the role as the boss, giving a job interview to today's candidate, David Hill. David is running for election for Ottawa City Council as a candidate for Ward 3, Barrhaven West. Thank you, David, for your time, and thank you for joining me today.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you.
It's great to have you, and without further ado, let's get this job interview started. So as with every good job interview, we're going to start off with an opportunity to learn more about David. So first, I wanted to ask you, David, can you tell me a little about yourself and your story?
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm professionally, I'm an Army guy. I've served in the Canadian Forces as an infantry officer for the last 25 years. And as such, I've lived across Canada, deployed around the globe, worked with refugees on the Syrian border in Lebanon and flood victims here in Canada, supported the Haitian police in the aftermath of an insurrection there, and I've served on combat operations in Afghanistan. Before that, after high school, I worked as an electrical and HVAC as an underground gold miner up in Northern Ontario for a little bit as well. I'm an outdoor enthusiast. I love kayaking, paddleboarding, skiing when time permits. And I live here in Ward 3, Barrhaven, with my wife, Tammy, who works at the Tourist Center, and my two daughters who attend Cedarview Middle School and John McCrae High School.
Well, definitely a story that that a lot of people know. Thank you for your service in the military. It's great to have great military people running for office, because you have a good sense usually of deadlines and working on task and keeping on task. So that's a great background to have. So we're going to go into the second question, which is, why have you decided to run for this position? Why do you think you're the best candidate for the job?
Well, I have a track record of working on complex issues and getting results. I currently serve on a number of community boards, including the Barrhaven United Church, the City of Ottawa Veterans Task Force. I've worked with the Community Outreach Committee for the Haven, which is a multi-faith housing initiative, low-income community here in Barrhaven. And the West Barrhaven Community Association as well, both in my capacity as an outdoor rink supervisor for Fosterbrook Rink and as a board director. I'm community oriented, and to transition from serving in uniform to serving at City Hall, for me, I think it feels like a really natural fit. I enjoy waking up in the morning knowing that the things I'm going to work on are going to make my community a bit better. And I'm super keen to roll up my sleeves and get things done.
For sure. We're going to go on to the next part, which is where we're going to take a bit of time to talk about the job and what you bring to it. So I wanted to ask, first off, why do you think you are the best fit to be elected for this job?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm not afraid to work in complex, tricky situations with the focus of gaining objectives, getting things done. I don't come to this with a perspective of lobbying or with political baggage, but I have a genuine desire to make things better in my community. I'm a local resident with two daughters, and I want them to inherit a community that they can afford to live in and to work and play here. It's about vision and planning, and I'm an optimist. And I'd like to see, our future here as productive and as good a community as it has been, and better. I'm a team player. I've learned both through deployed operations and board work here in Canada that the best way to make positive change is through communication, collaboration, having a positive vision. And looking towards the future. And I've got a track record on getting these kind of things done. As an acute example, here in the community, my family did a petition 6 years ago to get a safe crossing on Longfields Drive to Neil Nesbitt Park, and that was successful. So I get results done when I put my mind to creating positive change.
Well, definitely some things there for people to sort of think about and to see your sort of story and what you bring to it. And to build on that, I wanted to ask, you mentioned the crosswalk, and I wanted to continue asking on that track. What experience do you bring to the job as counselor, to this job?
Well, I've been working since I made the decision to run back in November to talk to residents, to stakeholders, and to date we've visited just over 20,000 houses, myself and my team, to get a good feel for what the real issues and concerns are from folks who are going to be voting in this municipal election. I've read the official plan and attended as many local events as possible, from the Ottawa Board of Trade events, Barrhaven BIA events, faith communities, community associations. I've been really working as hard as I can to get as smart as possible on the local issues, both for Barrhaven as a community, but also more broadly for the city of Ottawa, as we look to tackle some of the significant challenges that I think we're going to face over the next term. The city has a lot of pressure. We have a significant debt. Inflation is hurting people's pocketbooks. We have an affordability crisis for housing. People are stressed coming out of COVID. And I've been doing the best that I can to get to understand those issues by watching committee and council in order to get myself prepared for that. But for myself personally and professionally, I've been working on multiple complex issues in my day job as a policy advisor to the Government of Canada on defense issues. I've supported multiple evacuation flights for Canadians that were getting out of Wuhan, China, as an example, at the beginning of the COVID crisis, as well as helping distribute humanitarian aid around the globe, from India to Latin America. And these were highly complex and politically charged events. I am, by function, a crisis operations expert, having worked on many security files that I think will translate very closely into supporting, some of the security and safety reassessments that we need here in Barrhaven to make sure that we keep our residents here safe and secure.
Well, I was just reading an article the other day about how crime rate in Ward 3 has increased significantly, looking at that compared to the rest of the city. Well, in comparison to years past as well. So definitely an issue that's on the minds of a lot of Barrhaven residents, especially as we head into this election. So we're going to go on to the third segment, which is called About the People. And part of serving as an elected official is serving the people who elect you. So here are a few questions about how you want to serve the people. So the first question I wanted to ask is, what is something that the people you would like to serve of Barrhaven West need, that you would like to get done if elected? What's something that you would like to sort of see get done for them?
Well, I want, kind of simply put, to bring common sense leadership and balance in investment to our community. I'm pragmatic by nature. I believe in taking a look at what the objectives are that we want to get accomplished, and then seeing the pathways in order to achieve that. I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves and work hard with my colleagues, and in order to make things happen. I very keenly want to see representation on issues here in Barrhaven that see balanced development. We do need to continue developing from a residential perspective because of the affordability crisis, but we need to make sure that that residential development is balanced with the necessary infrastructure in order to support those residential developments. I would like to see communities built, neighborhoods built, where people are able to get around and do things, live, work, and play in their community, in a way that right now they're challenged in some places because the infrastructure has lagged behind. One place that I'm going to continue to champion is working with the city to try and accelerate getting the Green Bank realignment. The current path to getting that approved looks like it's at least a decade out, which for the folks that purchased their homes there in 2007, it's a tough pill to swallow when they've been under the impression that they would see that, in a few years' time. So I'll continue to work on that. I'll continue to champion the Barnsdale interchange, which recently has seen the environmental assessment be funded, but we'll continue to need work in order to get that necessary on-ramp to allow folks south of the Jock River access to get places. I want to keep our city, as affordable as it can be in this environment. I mean, house prices have just spiked, and that not only impacts young professionals who we want to incentivize to come to Ottawa to work in, whether it be the private sector or the federal government. But if they can't afford to come here, we're going to lose our best and brightest Canadians to other cities, which is going to reduce our competitive edge. I guess those are some of the key things that I'd like to do, and I've already mentioned the fact that I'm interested in safety and security here. I, like you, heard the article that recently came out, and it doesn't surprise me. With inflation and some of the economic trends moving in the direction that they are, to see a concern in the community about some of the growing criminal activities is something that I certainly would like to directly address. And as councillor, I'll work hard with the Police Services Board and our residents to make sure that the appropriate level of policing and security services are afforded to make sure that we deal with those issues adequately.
Well, lots of stuff there as well, and lots of things that, I mean, I'm a resident of Barrhaven Ward 3, and all things that are on the minds of myself, my neighbors, and everybody around. All big things. And I'm going to say this to every single person, no matter what ward you're in, but fix the roads, please. The roads are terrible. Residential roads have not been paved, especially in the older parts and in all neighborhoods in all the city. If you can fix the roads, I'm going to say this to every person who's running for council, who's running for mayor that comes on this show. So the second question, and the last question as well, is what is one accomplishment that you have achieved that demonstrates why you would be a good elected official if people choose you?
Yeah, well, I think a really good example of my drive and my community spirit is the petition that I led over the winter to get the Green Bank realignment accelerated. I identified this as an issue through a number of meetings, with residents, with the Barrhaven BIA, and with the community associations as I was starting my vision of running. And this just became such an evident issue that in order to enable Half Moon Bay in particular to become, that 15-minute community that's not reliant on, solely cars, but that can, allow people to cycle into Barrhaven, to go out for dinner, or to walk across the Jock River. Because right now, everybody that's south of that Jock River is really a prisoner to a car. And it will unlock opportunities for, not just the residents south of the Jock River, but it'll open up economic opportunities for the Barrhaven downtown that's scheduled to be developed just north of the Jock River. So I think the fact that I was willing to go out with my team, through the winter to get over 2,000 signatures, which we were able to submit to the city in time to be received as part of the public record for the Transportation Master Plan public engagement. It demonstrates my understanding of a critical local issue and my willingness to work extremely hard to do what I can in order to make positive change.
Well, I mean, the Green Bank realignment, you've talked about it a lot. I know that that's something you've been advocating for. And yeah, people need answers, and it needs fixing. I mean, especially in the right behind Loblaws, I guess, sort of that's the worst part of it in Green Bank. There's a big new community being grown there, and to expand that and make things easier for Barrhaven residents is not a bad thing. So that is it. Thank you so much, David, for joining me today. It was great to have you, and I'm sure the viewers have enjoyed seeing and hearing what you have to offer to them. Election Day is on October 24th, 2022. And if you liked hearing what David had to say and you live in Ottawa Ward 3, Barrhaven West, you have the opportunity to vote for him on Election Day. Check with your local election officials for more details. To stay updated, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, VC Productions 25. Check my website, vincenzocalla.com, and like, subscribe, and choose to get notifications here on YouTube. The political job interview is a VCalla production. So until the next video, I'm Vincenzo Calla, signing out.